Dallas Horse Classic Rock, Lone Star 92.5. Look at the time. It's 6:30 and it's time for sports of all sorts.
Brought to you by the Will Height Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to willheightwins.com.
And speaking of Rush, Geddy Lee of Rush, who for many years has moonlighted as our baseball analyst, sat down to discuss this year's playoffs, starting with the best 2 out of 3 wild card round, which gets underway today. Starting in the American League, the Cleveland Guardians host the Detroit Tigers at 12:08 this afternoon. And Geddy says he thinks it's going to be a tough series.
Cleveland seems to be a team made up of good pitching and unsung heroes. And the Tigers have a lot of great hitters in their lineup. So I think it's going to be really exciting. But I would not be surprised if Cleveland broke Detroit's heart. But I think it's going to be close.
Okay. Well, we'll see how Geddy's prediction comes out. The second game in the American League has New York Yankees hosting the Boston Red Sox. It's 5:08 p.m. this afternoon.
You've got Garrett Crochet and a whole lineup of good hitters for the Boston Red Sox. And on the Yankee side, you've got the undeniable Judge, Max Fried, and a whole host of others. Defense might play a part of it. The Yankees have not played great defense this year. And under pressure, we'll see if that's a difference maker. But I think pretty evenly matched, but I give the Yankees the edge.
All right. Go Yankees.
What about the National League? In the National League, the first game is at 2:08 this afternoon with the Chicago Cubs hosting the San Diego Padres. And Geddy was quick to say he's pulling for the Cubs. And the final game of the day has last year's World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers hosting the Cincinnati Reds at 8:08 tonight.
Well, I got to stick with the Dodgers. The pitching is so deep.
Yeah.
And just when you thought they couldn't score runs anymore, their veterans like Freeman and Betts and all those guys woke up.
Geddy Lee has a whole room that is bigger, twice as big as this.
It's a museum
with all kinds of baseball memorabilia.
It's amazing.
It was featured on 60 Minutes, and we actually have the video of that up on the Bo and Them Show page, Bo.
Well, that's cool. You can see it for yourself.
Speaking of baseball, Bruce Bochy is out.
He's gone. Count him out, everybody.
Bochy will not return as manager of the Texas Rangers after a 3-year stint that began with the franchise's first World Series championship in 2023 before, of course, missing the playoffs on not having a winning record in both seasons since then. The Rangers announced last night that the team and Bochy mutually agreed to end his managerial tenure in Texas. Bochy has been offered a front office role to stay in an advisory capacity, but it's not clear if he's going to accept that. There's talk, Bo, that he may return to manage the San Francisco Giants since they fired their manager yesterday as well.
And he used to manage the San Francisco Giants.
He was very successful there. The move to remove Bochy came a day after the Rangers finished 81-81. That was the first 500 record ever for the franchise that began as the Washington Senators in 1961 before moving to Texas in 1972. And a first for Bochy in 28 seasons overall, managing San Diego, San Francisco, and Texas. Bochy was at the end of the 3-year contract that he got when Chris Young, one of his former pitchers, hired him. After the Rangers' 6th consecutive losing season, Bochy went 249 wins to 237 losses with the Rangers.
Ouch.
So you say he might get a front office job.
Yes, he might, or he may go back to San Francisco and be a manager there. Depends on what he feels like doing.
And 81-81, that's about as average as you can get, you know?
I think he should keep managing and even coaching, maybe. Yeah. We'll see. Elsewhere in Major League Baseball, 71.4 million souls flocked to the ballparks this season. Not bad. Attendance at Major League Baseball games at 71.4 million is the 3rd year in a row that attendance has risen. It's the first time that's happened since 2005 to 2007, and it comes with 2 teams, the Rays and the Athletics. They're drawing folks in, and both playing in their home seasons in stadiums built for minor league teams.
Well, the Athletics aren't playing at home.
No, they don't even have a home
Exactly. They're waiting for their home to be built in Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're going to like the lower baseball leagues going, excuse us, can we come in and use your venue, please? Also, now that the regular season in baseball is all over, it's time for teams to shuffle their rosters and their front offices.
Yep.
Yes, and their manager.
We'll see what happens. San Francisco Giants wasted no time firing manager Bob Melvin. He had an 81-81 season, and that ended with the Giants not making the postseason. Minnesota Twins are shaking things up, too. They fired manager Rocco Baldelli after a 70-92 season,
Ouch.
ending his 7-year tenure that included 3 American League Central titles.
Well, Sunday night football had some highs and lows, but ended somewhere in between when the Cowboys and the Packers tied at 40 apiece. I just hate that.
I know.
Here's what a fan from Midland said. Right now, you don't know how to feel. Usually you walk out of the game. If you lose, you go, oh. If you win, you're like, yeah. But now it's more like, huh?
What happened there?
You don't play the game for ties, said Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Right now, it's tough for me, but I guess 10 years in, the first time I've ever been a part of, is kind of a hard thing to wrap my head around. Like we told you yesterday, the Cowboys say the last time that team tied was in 1969 against the Cleveland Browns. Now, 2015 NFL regular season rules give both teams the opportunity to possess the ball at least once during overtime. At the end of a 10-minute overtime session, if the score is still tied, the game ends in a tie, which it never should be a tie.
It used to be like sudden death. The first team to score won the game,
Well-
and a lot of people didn't think that was fair.
Yeah, well, it's true, and it's not. And that's why I still say they should do it like college football does
Yeah.
it. The NFL says the rule changed in part for player safety, but fans aren't happy about it. They feel the need for closure and want a winner or a loser after 4 hours of football.
I
Yes.
agree.
And you can't blame them.
Yeah. It was a doubleheader last night on Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins hosted the New York Jets in a primetime divisional contest, with Miami coming away with a 27-21 win. Despite that positive result, though, much of the focus for Miami is going to be on Tyreek Hill's status. The star wide receiver went down with a gruesome leg injury early in the third quarter. He was taken to a local hospital in an ambulance. One part of his leg went one way and the other part went the other way. I showed you the video earlier.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It
God.
hurt
I don't
looking
wanna
at
see.
it. Miami's offense didn't look as smooth after his exit, but had enough to hold on for that win despite a late New York Jets push. Then after that game, the Denver Broncos and Cincinnati Bengals faced off. Denver ended Week 4's Monday Night Football doubleheader with a 28-3 home rout of Cincinnati in a game that really never showed signs of being close at all.
no,
Man,
no.
that was a rout.
You always get the ass handed to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
58-year-old retiree Tom Sillo, former powerlifter, who decided to chase his dream of playing college football by walking on at Division III Lycoming College in Williamsport, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
has actually signed at 58 a very fitting NIL deal.
Oh, good for
58.
him.
Yeah.
58 and in college just to play
Yeah.
football. You got to hand it
How
to him.
awesome is that? He signed a deal with Asper Cream.
Asper
Oh, you know what? That stuff works. On my
Yes.
ankle and my knee, Asper Cream is the bomb.
It is. I think it's better than Bengay. Over-the-counter pain relief product, Asper Cream. A lot of older people use it. It's the first NIL deal that the company has done, and it makes Silla the oldest player to sign an NIL deal. Silla will receive a 4-year supply of Asper Cream shipped to his house as part of the deal. How nice.
And the mailman said, there must be an old guy living here.
You know, LSU, the Tigers, they
Yeah.
have an old guy in the marching band this year.
Yes, they
Nice.
do. Yes.
He's like 66
Yes,
years old.
I know.
That's beautiful.
And Texas A&M University is mourning the loss of one of its most cherished symbols, Miss Reveille the Ninth, known as
Oh.
the First Lady of
No.
Aggieland,
Pretty
passed
dog.
away last Saturday due to complications from pneumonia.
Okay, this is not the one with the patch?
No. That's
Okay.
Reveille 10. She's still
Okay,
around.
Looks
okay.
like
Oh, you
Lassie.
scared me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Reveille 9 served as the university's official mascot from May 2015 until her retirement in April of 2021. She was cared for by the staff at the Stevenson Companion Animal Life Care Center and the Texas A&M Small Animal Teaching Hospital. Texas A&M shared a tribute calling her a lasting symbol of the school's values. According to the university, the Reveille mascot line stretches back to 1931.
Yeah, it does.
And listen to these campus traditions. Campus tradition says that if Reveille barks in class, the professor can dismiss the class and everybody go away.
Awesome.
And if Miss Reveille falls asleep on a cadet's bed, that cadet is required to find somewhere else to sleep because she outranks him.
And that is true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Power moves.
It has been that way for years. All right, get ready to freaking full file next on the Ball and Them Call. Dallas Fort Worth Classic Rock, Lone Star 92.5, y'all. Coming up, a Toy Box Tuesday here. A request for something we hadn't played in a while, but I'm not going to tell you what it is quite yet. Now it's time for the ever-popular Freakin' Fool File. A Ryanair flight from Milan, Italy to London had to make an emergency landing after, quote, strange passengers began freaking out and trying to dispose of their passports in a bizarre way while everybody just sat there and watched. Essentially, the flight took off, and 15 to 20 minutes into the flight, once the seatbelt sign was off, something strange happened at the front of the plane, according to a passenger. According to him, one of the men tore out the pages of his passport
Oh, no.
and proceeded to eat them, causing everyone to freak out. Now, why would you eat the pages of your passport? Because you can't go to many other countries unless you have
Well,
a
when he
passport.
lands in London, he's going to have to go through customs and show his passport.
Oh, man. Well, everybody freaked out about that. His partner in crime then hightailed it to the other end of the aircraft and attempted to flush his passport down the toilet.
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Are these guys fugitives or something?
I don't know. It would scare me that they were doing
They're
that.
loony birds.
A flight attendant banged on the door and pleaded with him to open it, but he refused to unlock the bathroom door. At that point, the pilots decided to divert the flight to Paris, France, and upon arrival, French authorities boarded the craft and arrested the two men.
They were arrested by Pepe Le Pew, Bo.
I guess so. Y'all need to stay away from them gummies before you go on a flight like
Oh, yeah.
They
Especially Bo Roberts.
that. Yeah.
All right, Bo. A joke from a Texas police officer turned into a real-life chase, and it all started with a horse. Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
The Mounted Patrol Unit of the Lubbock Police Department performed a routine stop on a man seen walking in the middle of the street instead of on the sidewalk. And this happened in broad daylight. The officers believed the man was acting strangely and thought he might be under the influence of narcotics. So they asked him if they could search his pockets. The man refused, and that's when one of the officers joked, "That's cool. I've got a narcotic-smelling horse right here."
And he believed it.
Apparently, the suspect didn't think it was a joke, Bo. And so he bolted down an alley, but with 0 horsepower, he wasn't going to be able to outrun the horse.
No.
Here's the video, Bo Cephas.
Oh, there it is.
Look at this.
So the officer caught up to him, placed him under arrest. He's charged with evading arrest and tampering with evidence. And if there was such a charge of being gullible, dumbass, he'd be charged with that too.
There's the video on the officer's body cam.
There's a video for everything these days.
Drug sniffing horses.
And I
Yeah.
like that. I like a video to show stuff that would, damn, I didn't know that happened.
You see, it works like this. If the horse smells drugs, he's going to take a huge dump right there on the asphalt.
Yeah.
And speaking of animals, people for the ethical treatment of animals are calling for a criminal investigation into a teacher at a Texas high school. This is at Albert High School. Y'all know where Decatur, Texas
Oh,
is,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
A
yeah.
few miles north of there. An advanced animal science teacher at Albert allegedly brought in 4 kittens that were born to her
I
own
hate
cat
this story.
Oh, yeah.
and fed them to the snake that they had there in the science room.
Well,
Horrible.
they only fed one to the snake.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the
only
class-
one.
The class freaked out.
Well, do you blame them?
No,
I
not
would have
at
been
all.
in tears. That's
Why?
horrible.
Why would you do that in front of your class?
That's a sick teacher.
Oh, yeah,
He
absolutely.
wanted to freak
Yeah.
them out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
God, almost as crazy as people on airline flights. But the incident came to light after a student who was very upset took home the remaining and surviving kittens. Unfortunately, those little kittens passed away. Anyway, they didn't have the proper care. The students in the class say the teacher told them she had more pregnant cats at home and had fed kittens to snakes before because
horrible.
you can't save them all. Yeah, well, you don't have to feed them to snakes either.
Well, in
Jesus.
front of your class, too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
It's traumatizing. The
Ugh.
school superintendent was not happy. Says the teacher's an experienced educator and an animal lover and has apologized. She has removed all snakes from her Albert High classroom. Probably a good move.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think that probably was a good move.
That story disgusted me when I saw
Can
it.
you just
poor
imagine seeing
things.
that?
Oh man, I would be traumatized. I would
Oh.
have PTS, post-traumatic stress from that.
Well, there's a fire and brimstone preacher
Oh yeah.
in Honduras.
Yes.
has ignited a heated online debate after asking a member of his congregation to hand over his land to the church by divine command.
Oh, here we go again.
In a video, Jorge Pompa, an evangelical pastor, can be seen pressuring a local parishioner to sign over his property to the church as a test of true faith that would ultimately see him rewarded greatly. Speaking in front of his congregation, Pompa tells the confused man that God spoke to him directly the other night, ordering him to tell the parishioner that the Lord wanted him to give up his land and give it to the church, which will be managed by me, your pastor.
Why does the guy from Honduras sound like he's from Corsicana?
It does. That's because he's from Ennis.
Oh, Annis.
Honduras.
Despite the man's evident hesitation to answer the request, the pastor continues to pressure him, claiming that he would only be giving God what was already his and that the preacher himself would take care of the property for God.
Of course he would.
Now, he said, God spoke to me last night. Tell him I gave him life, I gave him children, and I can give him more than he has if he gives that land to the Lord.
To the Lord.
However, there's no word on if the guy was stupid enough to give up his property to the pastor or not. But if we hear something, we'll sure let you know. I guarantee
Hey,
it.
coming up next hour, you don't want to miss out. You get to pick your ticket. Choose between tickets to see Blue Oyster Cult in December at the Longhorn Ballroom, or you can pick tickets to see Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles, this Saturday at Billy Bob's. Bo has a fun way for you to win coming up around 7:50 right here on the Bo and Them Show on Dallas Fort Worth Classic Rock, Lone Star 92.5.